I thought it's okay. So I was not going to do anything wrong with it.
Is not something malice in nature, and it is done with the in correlation to your job. We totally understand, but section 43 clearly talks about unauthorized session that has been put up against you. Are you clear about the unauthorized access part?
Yes, yes. But
And
I identity theft.
yeah, I'll tell you about that later on. Can you just tell me about this foreign-based AI, which was Cyrus? So you gave some prompt into that to get out the multiple credential identities, if I'm not wrong. By any chance, are those credentials stored in that foreign-based AI, if you're aware of?
I was aware of that the fact that the conversation I was having with that AI is going to be confidential.
The conversation of you with the AI would be confidential.
Yeah, how could the government get access to my conversations?
Okay, so Varun, we're not on the same page right now. I get your concern. What I am trying to say is that foreign-based AI, does it store the prompts it give you? Because where I am leading on to is that if that data has been stored in a foreign-based AI, that would mean that a foreign entity has the data of our nation. So that would be a slight problem because of the server of this foreign-based AI. I'm not blaming the prompts of you or the government entering into the confidentiality. My question is, does this foreign-based AI store the prompts and the results it gives to you? Because we have AIs like ChatGPT, Gemini, which actually stores the information. We can go in our history, we can find that whatever we have searched, whatever we have asked, it is stored in their servers. And since this is something really confidential in nature, it is about the sovereignty of the country, India. Is it by any chance, do you have the idea that whether your conversation about the government of India is stored in the foreign servers?
Maybe I can still access it if I go to the history, but again, I thought it's confidential.
Okay, so the government's role here was not to access your conversation with the foreign-based AI. How government interfered in this was when you tried to log in to their website. That's how they caught on to the fact that someone is trying to hack into their system, and that's why they took the initiative of finding out how it happened. And given the fact that government came to know that Cyrus was the AI which was used, I'm pretty sure that this server is not a secured server, which means that your data or the prompts which you gave and the result which it gave out, which has one credential that can log into the government of India's website, is stored somewhere in that server.
But my private conversations should not be in the hands of the government.
We totally understand. We totally know the rights that have been given to a person 21, 19, 14, the golden triangle basically. We understand that a person has right to privacy. However, any right which violates the sovereignty of the country has to be known to the government. They have full rights over any.
What is sovereignty?
Okay, sovereignty is basically the brotherhood of the country, meaning the country as a whole. Protection again for the country. Anything that is against the country is not acceptable, and that is sovereignty. India is a sovereign country, we say, which is India is a country which has its own rules and regulation, which is protected by all our citizens, and any breach in that sovereignty is a crime. Yes.
But how does my getting downloading or automatically being downloaded information breaches the sovereignty of India?
Okay. The fact that the things that you have downloaded, the data that you have downloaded is a government data, and anything which is related to government cannot be exposed to anybody else. I mean, we are such a powerful country at this time where we are seeing all the wars happening. India plays a really important role, and India is considered as one of the most powerful country. And anything that is against any data, if in case it gets leaked, that goes against our nation. Nobody should know the internal functions of whatever is happening in the country. So for your case, I can tell you that the government's stance, first I'll explain you the government stance, then I'll tell you about your position. The government, all it is contending is that how can any individual enter into our website and download our data? It reaches out to them as a threat because it gives the idea that anyone can access our data. So that's what their stance is. So they do not know that you are not a threat to them as of now. For that, we'll have to prove that your intention was not malicious. You wanted to check the security of the server and everything. That will be our stance. For now, government's stance regarding the case they have put up against you is that you have accessed their data and they do not know what you will do of that data yet. So once we prove in the court that you did not sell that data, you did not have the intention to sell that data, you will not misuse that data, and even you're ready to hand off that data back to them just with the knowledge that their servers are not secure, that can be a case we can build up. That will be for us to proceed on with the further stages. Right now, I want you to understand that what the issue exactly is. Issue is that entering into a government's website with a credential which is not yours, which means you took the identity of someone else and entered the website.
I did load testing.
Yeah.
I did not enter it with somebody's credentials. I used generated code. It's ethical hacking.
Yeah. So that's what we'll need to prove to the government, that the hacking we did was ethical and not unethical. That's the burden of proof will lie on us for that, and we can totally back up that if we get evidences and proofs regarding that. So your
What kind of evidences?
exactly. For that, the malicious intention. Malicious means I had the ill intention of getting their data, selling it off. That is absent in our case.
No,
You did not
no.
want to sell it off.
No,
So
no.
you can relax down on that a bit because this is absent, and thus it can justify to an extent why ethical hacking was done by you.
Further, we can also prove the fact that since there was no selling, there was no misuse of those data by you. So herein, it is just stored in your servers. If you wanted, you could have deleted it, removing all the evidences, but you did not because there was no malicious intent involved. So all we can do is we can prove that there was absence of malice, there was no misuse of the government data, and there was no selling of government data, which keeps our case a little strong in this particular case.
Further, your concern is how can government access your personal chats with any of the software, right? So first off, AI is a progressive thing which is developing right now in India as of the whole world. India does not have any strong regulating acts for AI and the conversations we hold with it. So you definitely have your right to privacy under Article 21 of the Constitution. I'll tell you that Article 21 of the Constitution grants individual a fundamental right to privacy, which means that any conversation, any of your personal data or anything related to your personal sphere cannot be accessed by it. So that we can agree on the fact that there has been a breach of your privacy by the government. We agree on that part. So in our defense, we can definitely put up that the government has tried to access your personal chats with the AI, which breaches your privacy. That will be a one stance. Can you tell me what's bothering you more on this issue particularly as of now? What's your main
Concern.
right now?
Again, the interception of the government
Okay.
in my private chats with an AI. Also, you talked about how my case can be strong. Can there chances my case can be weaker?
Absolutely. We won't give you false hopes for sure. It is because of all the sections that they have accused you of, which is section 66, which is section 43, and section, if I'm correct, it is section 66D also, which is about cheating, which is about identity theft and unauthorized access. Here the government indeed is right because there was an unauthorized access. It might make the case weak. However, we indeed have backups. We have EU AI Act. We have guidelines under the Information Technology Act, which tells that there is a regulation which is related to the AI. However, nobody can breach those regulations. Nobody can get into the privacy of a person. Since here we are very much right that the government has access to whatever we are doing. So it is basically the violation of right to privacy that an individual holds. And anything which is violating our rights, anything which is violating our fundamental rights which is given by the constitution itself, we have the right to raise our voice against it. We have the right to have a say to the court that indeed we were not, indeed we are right in the stance that there is breach of privacy in our case. So it's not like we are on the weaker side, it's just that it is a balance of both. However, we need to prove that how our case is strong, and I guess we would do that.
So,
The act you talked about,
Yes.
can you tell me how will that protect my fundamental rights?
Exactly, I will tell you. So EU, it is not an Indian act. However, we can just take a stance with that act. It is, since India is not having any law or regulation relating to AI, we can just take a stance. The EU AI Act basically focuses on how protection can be made for the AI if there is any instances of manipulating, if there's any intention of profiling of somebody, or deep fakes, or morph, or any morph pictures for that matter. And in our case, everything is absent. It was done purely because since you are an software engineer, it was just a case of ethical hacking, and there was absence of all the things that EU AI Act says. EU AI Act just focuses on the protection of AI, the protection of those acts which were not done, as in if the case is not related to deepfake, it was not related to morph pictures, if it was not related to profiling, we are in safe hands. It just gives us a protection towards that.
But it's a you outside. It's
Argument from our side.
okay, Varun, before we proceed on, can you tell us, do you have any history of ethical hacking?
I mean that is my work. I do ethical hacking as a software engineer.
No. So you work at Google right now. So you
Yeah.
are not associated with any of the governmental headquarters or something.
No.
The ethical hacking you do is to check on the websites of any website for that matter, to check whether they have secure credentials or not. So do you have any history wherein your ethical hacking was recognized by the websites themselves? That your ethical hacking did help them secure their servers further?
Or even the company for that matter.
Your company or any company?
With your ethical hacking, has there been any advantage or benefit that has been received to the company and you were recognized for the same?
I don't know about advantages. But if there are disadvantages, will it weaken my case?
No. No, what we are trying to ask you is that if you have a history of ethical hacking, and if we go on with the contention that your ethical hacking has strengthened the other's website, it can help the government as well, which would be an advantage for our point. But disadvantage to this, disadvantage would be if the websites have put up a case against you, which is not as of now.
No,
if
no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
wrong. Exactly. So, just if you had a history, it would be an advantage. Even if you do not, we can just prove on that as a software engineer, that's your work.
However, if there's any history, be it advantage or disadvantage, would you like to tell it to us? Any history or any prior ethical hacking experience that you've had?
As of such, I don't think anything has been this huge. It was always just me doing ethical hacking, or me trying or editing or doing anything in a website and nobody getting to know about it.
Okay, so Varun, we'll have a 15-minute consultancies with ourselves, and in the post-consultancy, we'll tell you the legal advice. Before going into that, I'll just brief your case, and please tell us if we're on the same page and if there is any misunderstanding amongst us, okay? So you're a software engineer, you work in Bangalore in the company of Google. A few days back, you've got a prosecution notice from the Ministry of IT Act and Cybercrime, alleging you in the offences under Section 43, 66, 66C, 66D of the Information Technology Act, which are relating to unauthorized access, cheating, and everything. So, what happened actually was you used a foreign-based AI to get some credentials, and you used a load testing method which gave you multiple credentials and codes to test on. You use those same results they gave you into the government of tax filing portal to check whether the security servers are strong enough.
I used a code generated by
Exactly.
AI.
So that code, personal capacity, and to your shock, one of the codes which was used did give you the access to the website. You entered the website and it downloaded the data in your computer, which is safely stored in your computer. You have not sold that data anywhere else, you have not misused it, and neither did you intend to do anything ill with that data, and it automatically downloaded. So it was not an initiative from you to download it. So your main concerns are how can government interfere in your personal in your personal conversations with the AI, and whether the allegations they've put up against you can be defended accurately by means of law. Was that all the facts are about?
And was that the main contention that you want to raise? We would want 15 minutes for our discussion, then we'll call you again. Sure.
So, Misha, could you please brief the facts again to me to check whether we are on the same page or not?
Yes. So Varun, who's a software engineer in Bangalore working in Google company, has received a prosecution letter from the Ministry of Electronic and Cybercrime under IT Act. He's been alleged of Section 43, 66, 66C and 66D, which basically talks about unauthorized access, identity theft and cheating. And all these allegations have been made because he has used foreign-based AI to log in into government tax filing portal. However, this is ethical hacking for our client. However, the prosecution has alleged for serious breach of government data. And yes, the main two contentions are, first, the client wants to know that there is a breach of privacy by the government because they are getting to know the information, they are getting to know whatever conversation our client has had with the AI, and they have access to it, which is clear breach of privacy under Article 21 of Constitution. And second is how they can defend the allegation that has been challenged by the prosecution. And all we can try is proving that the absence of malice intent, and that there was no misuse of the data, there was no selling of the data, and if there was any malice intent, if at all it was there, I think the client would have probably deleted the data. The client would have made sure, since she knows how to do ethical hacking, since she is so well versed with technology, I think she could have made efforts to do something in order to delete whatever she had. But since she didn't, it shows that how clear intent is, how there was absence of any malice intent. So I believe this is what the case is about, and I believe we are on the same page.
We indeed are on the same page. So I think we are clear on the government's stance. We are clear
Right.
that the government is simply alleging that how can an individual access their website, enter into the credentials and download their data.
Right.
This indeed is a threat to the sovereignty of India, as you rightly stated so, because if an individual with right intentions can do so, a person with ill intentions can also proceed with the same.
Absolutely.
So government's stance can be really understood. So how do you think we should proceed to defend our client in this case?
As I said, the fact that we need to prove the absence of malicious intent. I think our case solely and wholly relies on how there was no malice intent in the particular case. If it was, there would have been a lot of extra actions that the client could have taken it, but since there was no such action, I think we can rely on the stance that all that was done on a professional capacity of a person, and it was the job that the person does. Our client is working as software engineering, and she has clearly mentioned that it was done solely as ethical hacking, and it was no other intention.
Also,
There.
the claim that they have put up is of identity theft. Our client has clearly said that she used a code to enter into that, and it did not give her a false identity of someone else.
Yes, it's just she's clearly mentioned that one of the code resulted in the opening of the portal and downloading the data. No such where we can prove that there was identity theft, because whatever is done, she has done in her own capacity, in her personal capacity. She has used her identity to log into this. I don't think a code can make a person not themselves, meaning it cannot be them. it can lead to identity theft. I don't think a code can do that. It was her identity. She did it she did it all herself. She just the code just helped her to get into the portal and get the data. I don't think there's any point of identity theft involved here.
So if I'm not wrong, identity theft can be claimed if the person illegally access someone else's, let's say, username and password and try to
Yes.
enter into that.
Exactly.
So since a code which just used some bypass the captchas and everything, and it generated multiple credentials, so the aspect of identity theft can be defended because there was no active participation of our client to get the identity of someone else, and it was all a code.
Yeah, let's not say active participation. Let's just say that she has not used anybody else's identity to get what she's gotten. It's just a code that helped her get the data, which she clearly did not want to do. All she wanted was to check the website, to check the security of website, which is in her capacity. She is a software engineer.
So-
I think 66 and 66C can be defended because it is clearly not a case of identity theft. That's what I believe. If you have a say, you can, please.
So that's the same stance I have on the identity theft part. However, the unauthorized access was indeed done. To
Yeah.
defend that, all we have for our backup is that the ethical hacking was the sole motive of it, and we did not intend to sell this data or misuse. There has been no misuse,
Absolutely.
and even our client is ready to hand that data back
Datas.
to them.
Right.
So there is no ill intent towards the government. So that's what we'll have to prove in the court.
Indeed, even I feel the same because 43, here I believe the government indeed have more power in this case, in this particular section, because it is indeed a case of unauthorized access to government servers or to government property. However, we clearly see there is absence of malice. We clearly see that the data are still with her. The data is not being sold anywhere. The data have not been misused, meaning there is absence of malice. It's just the code which helped her do it, and I believe we can ask all the documents, the code, the AI that she has used in order to show as an evidence that this is what our case is and this is what our client has done.
So that would be a defense for the allegations put up against her.
Yeah.
What do you think of her concern, which is how can a government access her chats with an AI?
Exactly, that's what our point is. We can go for a breach of fundamental right. We have our Article 21 wherein the government constitution has clearly given us the right to privacy. I think Puttaswamy versus Union of India makes it really clear that right to privacy indeed is an absolute right that every person holds. So it is her right to privacy. How can the government breach the privacy? How can the government know what a person is doing with the AI, or what is the conversation that is going on between the client and the AI?
But what if the government comes up with the stance of reasonable restrictions? So they might say that because there was an access, unauthorized access, they simply checked up upon how it happened and they discovered this fact.
Indeed, that's a stance that the government can actually take. However, again, going on to the same point, since we have 2 to 3 strong points and we have to rely our case wholly and solely only on those facts, that is malice, intent, breach of privacy, and that it was not sold or being misused. And I feel we can still rely on that fact itself. Reasonable restrictions indeed is something the government can take stance on, but then we have a higher say on the fact that it was a breach of privacy.
So do you think the prosecution would agree for alternative dispute resolutions?
I don't think, because it's a government related case. We cannot go for ADR or any against the government itself, because it's a clear case of unauthorized access. The whole sovereignty is in question. The data of the government is in question. It is with a normal citizen. Today one person has done, tomorrow everybody can do. So I don't think alternate dispute resolution would actually work in this case. If it was to private individual, we could have gone for that. But since the government in itself is involved, I don't think ADR would work for us.
So yeah, that's accurately pointed out. So if we are not wrong in catching her main concerns, cybercrime is what is put up against against her. We
Yes.
have the defense of that she was checking an AI as well as the security of the servers of India.
Right.
It was an ethical hacking. It was done in her personal capacity. She, and as it is her job as a software engineer, and she does
Exactly.
ethical hacking
Yes.
from time to time. So what exactly happened was that she was not aware that the government would come to know about it.
Yes, and I mean, I might be wrong, but I would like to take a suggestion of your senior associate that the fact that a person can log into a government portal this easily in itself is a question of security. I mean, we have a clear stance as an individual of the country that how can a person using AI can log into the servers or the portals.
That's right. Once we established that it was ethical hacking,
Yeah,
we
we
can
can
put
prove
this.
weak security picture.
Yeah, we can put this up against the government itself that as the result of the ethical hacking of our individual, our client, it has been come to the notice that the security servers are not
Exactly.
strong enough.
Yes.
So they need to strengthen that on. So that would be a plus point for them.
I believe whatever our client has done something for the government.
Indeed. So our approach to this case, I think, lays down very clearly. Which issue do you think we should brief the client on first, and which to the second one?
I think we should start from identity theft because I believe the client was really nervous on the fact that how am I using somebody else's identity. So I think we should make it clear that we have a strong stance for that case since it was no identity of anybody else that has been used. It's just a code which helped decode the security of the government.
I have the other perspective that we should first tell us about the Article 21 which has been breached because her main concern to me sought that how can the government access her private chats. So we
Okay.
should in very brief tell her that there has been a breach of her privacy by
Right.
the government, and to substantiate that we can tell that it was ethical hacking. Due to shortage of time, we'll just put the minutes of the meeting and send it to the client later on
Yeah.
with our suggestions and all. Right now, I think first off we'll tell that her privacy has been breached, how it has been breached, and how we'll proceed on with that.
And then talk about the identity theft and unauthorized access which can be proved by no malice intent. That's
Yeah.
how I think we can proceed.
If she's clear on what the allegations have been put up against her, we'll just have to explain that the identity theft has not been done.
Exactly, yeah.
As she herself is saying that it was a load testing method and she
Right.
got a code. She did not use anyone else's identity as such.
Right.
So this can be defended pretty nicely.
I think both the issues that she's brought up to us is first that how to how there's a breach of her privacy, and second that how these sections can be defended. I think we stand strong on the points that how both can be defended and how there was breach of privacy and we can go against these sections.
And please do not forget to either brief it to her right now or put it in the post-its of the meeting that how her ethical hacking can be taken as an advantage for the government
Right.
to strengthen their servers.
Agreed. I believe when we will send the proper remedies after the short briefing, I think we should add from the sections to the precedents that we have had, which has probably focused. We'll need to research on it. We'll properly research. We'll send it to her as soon as possible because this seems a case of urgency. This requires attention not just by the individual but also the government because their data are in question and their security is in question. So I think we must do it as soon as possible and give her hopes that our case stands strong in this particular case.
So since the prosecution case has already been filed, which means that we'll have to take the matter to the court.
Yes.
So we'll just tell her how we can defend the case, and if she deems fit, we can actually go on and work deeply and proficiently in the same case.
Also, I think we need to ask about the evidences. Since the burden of proof lies on us, we need to ask on the courts. We need to ask the codes that she has given, the AI that she has used, the servers that she has. I think these are all required for us to prove our case to the
And
court.
I think we should also make it clear to the court, to her, and as well as the prosecution, that we're totally ready to hand over the data which is in her computer.
Yes, exactly.
And we can actively do so on their request or something.
Do you think we should take her history of ethical hacking before? Since she is a software engineer.
She does have a history of ethical hacking, but it would be more advantageous if she finds out that some website did recognize her hacking, which was ethical, and strengthen their
Right.
servers. So that would be a part of research which we would do, and she'd help us in that.
Absolutely.
So that would be your approach?
Yes, I believe this is fine. So you think once she comes, we should just brief her the facts to know whether we are in the same page, or we should just start with the approach and
I think due to shortage of time, we
Yeah.
should tell her the approach itself.
Sure.
And identity theft. So first we'll explain the case of her concern that the
Yeah,
foreign
we'll
based
just
AI.
take out those two main primary issues that she's been facing and she wants to resolve it as soon as possible, which is privacy and the section that we have to defend. And I believe we are good to go. We just need all the documents. We just need her support for us to reach to a conclusion of this case.
I think we'll have to take the formal proceeding itself. So we are clear on that. So that would be our post consultancy format and the approach we take towards the client.
Sorted. I believe I should go and call the client.
Can we get the client back?
Please have a seat. We have had a long discussion on your case, and we would assure you that you need to take no worry regarding the case because our case stands strong. That's what we believe, and that's what we will do in the end of the proceeding. So first, I would like to take up two of your primary issues, that how can government get to know your conversations with the AI, which is privacy, and second, how we will defend the allegations that they have alleged us for. So first, talking about breach of privacy, I believe as a software engineer, all you have done is ethical hacking, which is in your personal and professional capacity. And we can defend it because you have been talking to AI which generated a code and nothing was done by you. And if the government can see other people's chats, or if the government have the access, that is a breach of your privacy. That basically means that a person cannot have privacy in their own country itself. A person cannot do whatever they want in their own capacity. So I feel we have a strong point there, and also the fact that you have helped government in this way. All after discussions, we have come to a point that you have had conversation with AI which gave you the code. So there are other people who can do the same thing with malice intent. So I believe we are helping the government tell that the security is weak of our country, and there has to be regulation. There has to be more proper working on portals and website to make sure that the data is safe and secure with the government itself. And talking about the allegations that they have alleged you, I think if you can brief.
Does the first remedy deem fit to you? Do you agree that we can actually proceed on with that defense?
My question is that you paint a very pretty picture, but I have heard that any proceedings in the court take a long time.
Indeed.
What will happen if this gets out, or my employers know about it? My reputation as a software engineer will be tarnished because I'll be known as a hacker.
So, Varun, I'll tell you that the Indian justice system follows the concept of guilty, innocent until
Innocent
proven
until-
guilty.
yeah.
So, until the court's final verdict comes out, until the court reaches the final conclusion,
You're
they
not
cannot term you as guilty or a hacker for now. As of now, or that's the Indian justice system. So, you're worried that they'll call you a hacker or they'll term you as a hacker. I think until the court reaches the conclusion, that's not the legal way to take up on a case, and you cannot term or label a person as anything. So that would be a fault on their behalf. You, as a legal entity, as a legal person, will have no term labeled to you. So you would not be called a hacker or a person who tried to authorize the governmental data. You'll simply a defendant in a case which has been put up against you, and if we prove your innocence, you will be free to go, and there would be no labels against
And
you.
your professional life won't get affected by all this, because it is, as my senior has mentioned it correctly, that India goes on with the principle of innocent until proven guilty. Till the time you're not proven guilty, nobody has the right to say anything to you, nobody has the right to seize job from you.
So are you saying that a accused is never accused or labeled as something that he has done in India?
Yeah.
Once he's proven guilty, he is an accused, he has done something and he is guilty of the act he has done. But before that, until and unless there's no evidence against him, until and unless there's nothing against him, until and unless the person is just alleged accused, nobody can raise their voice against him, nobody can question his position.
So even my employment during that time won't be harmed during the proceedings that will happen. So
From the legal perspective, it should not harm and it would not harm because, again, the prosecution will have to prove, and until you are convicted for the case, you cannot be officially discharged from your duty or your professional
convict
capacity.
means?
Convict means if the court says that you are guilty of the crime and they give you a punishment or something, you can equally be acquitted, which means that
Punishment?
no. If
Wha-
The court says.
that's what the
Since-
concept is.
Yeah, since you've asked what this convict means, convict is when a person is being accused of something, he is being proven guilty and the court penalizes him for the same offense. That is convict.
But if I, in any circumstances,
We would just want 2 minutes to brief.
Indeed, sir.
In your entire counseling session, I did not hear any demand of an FIR.
Indeed, sir. Sir, we have, since we were lack of time, we made it very clear to the client as well that we would be wanting all the documents, we would be wanting all the necessary documents which is relevant to our case, which includes FIR, which would be happening after the consultancy session, since we would be able to research more on it after the consultancy session, sir.
Ideally, FIR should be the primary where you start.
Indeed.
Secondly, in your case, there is section 68 and 69, which requires sanction from the government before lodging of an FIR. So that becomes a preliminary, in my opinion.
Indeed, sir. Sure, sir.
What about various options which you have told to the clients? Sir,
Um,
various options. Various options. Yeah. What about various options which you could have generated, of which your client could have thought over?
Sir,
Various options. See, you spoke only about IT Act, section 43, 66, A, B, C, that's all.
Yes.
What about other laws on which you could have empowered her?
Sir, I'm not sure I'm getting the question exactly, but to answer to it, our client's primary concern was how can the government access a private chat
No, no.
to the AI?
My point is, IT law is involved. What about other laws being involved in this case? In this case, there is breach of privacy of some other person, some other entity.
Yes.
Which other laws come into play?
Sir,
Because you are an advocate, you are an expert in the field.
Yes.
He has come to you for legal advice. From what other angles you could have seen this case?
so we did tell her about the breach of her privacy under the Constitution, Article 21, which has been breached.
Okay.
And so that was our approach to her issue number one, which was primary
So,
before.
Indian Constitution and IT Act.
Sir, when it comes to
No,
technology,
you come to main point. I've got only 5 minutes. Which other legislations on which you could have given your thought? According to me, first is IT rules
Yes.
2021
Yes, sir.
and amendments, IT rules. Number 2 is Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. IT Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rule 2026 that deals only with AI generated and deep fake content.
Yes.
The next one is we have now the circular of Government of India dated 15/2/2026, just 1 month old. This is India AI governance guidelines.
Yes.
On all these things, have you given your thought?
So that
In-
would,
Yes.
No, is it yes or no?
so we
No, on these legislations, have you given your thought?
So we did have them in our mind, but we did not convey it to the client because of the time management which was the
Okay,
issue
okay,
as of
yes,
now.
thank you.
And after consultancy session, we clearly have briefed before that we would be reaching out to her again with the solutions of the case, and we would have more research on the same, sir.
Now, this being a criminal case, you spoke about helping the government. Now, that itself is an admission of guilt, indirectly.
So that would
And in a criminal case, the most important defense is of total denial. Wherein you were discussing that the client had no intention, as in mens rea. So, did you have to give a thought about that? That by mentioning about helping the government, you're also admitting the guilt of the client.
So we are not admitting the guilt of the guilt of the client as posted by the prosecution is that she had an ill intention while authorizing that access. So our primary defense and our primary take on this was that the unauthorized access which has been recognized by the government was done for the purpose of ethical hacking. Ethical hacking in itself is done to check the strength of the websites and that. What our defense was that first we would prove that it was ethical hacking, and her in her profession and in her history of ethical hacking has helped the websites or government, not the government, the websites and these companies to strengthen their company. And then we would put it against the government itself that if an individual can access your data or such thing, the person with no malice intent had access. So this can be
Against
there.
the government.
So it can be there, let's say, a learn on that they need to strengthen the servers further, because if an individual can access, a person with malice intention as well can access. That was how we would first prove that it was ethical hacking and then put it up against the government. That was
But
our
regarding ethical hacking, you yourself mentioned to the client that the client had no permission from the government.
yes, sir.
Yes.
So then how will you justify that hacking to be ethical?
So the malice, the absence of ill intent, and the fact that she did not.
She did not misuse, she did not share or sold the documents or the whatever she has retrieved from the data, she has from the portal, she has not shared it to anybody. It was just an ethical hacking which had absence of malice intent, and I think that proves our point of how there was no ill intent. There was no ill intent involved with my client. And talking about the admissibility, here we are not trying to prove how our case makes the government at fault because of their weak security. We are just proving how a simple software engineer without any malice intent, if she can access the government security using an AI, and AI is evolving right now. If this AI helps everybody and anybody to do the same, I don't think it is safe for our country, because not just people from India but any other country can also access the same. That's what we will allege the government for. We won't make us guilty accusing the government, sir.
She works in Google, Google.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So she is a well-trained IT employee.
Yes, sir.
Being in the same field of IT, why she downloaded all this sensitive information?
So that's what.
Why she browsed the server?
Yes, sir.
Tax filings data she has got,
Yes.
Aadhaar card linked data she has got. What it means? You say no intention.
Yes.
Say she is doing job, let her do job, that's all. Why to do all these things?
Sir, she has again and again mentioned that it was her job as the software engineer and she does ethical hacking to check. The fact of downloading, sir,
No,
she did not.
see, my point is why she should have that. What is her ill mind? Accessing government website, bypassing all these passwords, then it is hacking only. Then how you advise the client saying that, see, she has no malice? And have you seen about the presumptions in law? There is reverse burden. She has to prove in court that she had no intention to deceive the
Yes.
government.
Yes.
So on the accused, there is burden of proof on the accused.
Yes, sir.
Not a case of not a strict case of IPC proof.
Yes, sir.
Proof is not proof beyond all reasonable doubt in this case by the prosecution, if there is prosecution launching. Accused must show in the court that she had no intention to use the data for some other purpose, or she downloaded just for fun. She must prove in court. Difficult to prove it.
Yes, sir. So she has told that she did the process of load testing,
Yes.
which was the code which she copied pasted. identity theft. And the fact that she did not actively download the data, it was automatically downloaded into her system. That's what has happened. So,
Sir, it is a clear case. Yes, sir.
so we'll have
I mean,
so that's for us to prove, and that would be for the trial proceedings to go on.
yes, sir. After the inquiry investigation, we would prove or with all the.
So,
Uh, so,
Okay, one quick question. I'm only going to judge you on the information that you're trying to extract from your client. Like FIR was one thing I mentioned. Now the other thing that struck me, you spoke about ethical hacking.
yes, sir.
Wasn't your duty to ask your client, since she's an ethical hacker herself, whether ethical hacking requires prior consent? That is the primary, because she's doing it on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So the websites, portals, or the places that she's trying to access or break into, whether it is done with the consent.
Right.
If it is done with the consent, it does amount to ethical hacking. So that is one question that you ought to have put to your client.
Right. Sure, sir.
Yes, and one quick suggestion.
Yes, sir.
I felt there was a too much introduction and too much explanation rather than extracting information from the client.
Okay, sir.
You were, just trying to justify yourself. It is not a duty of an advocate to justify to a client. You have to instill confidence into the client so that he starts talking to you.
Sure.
Make the client talk more and you listen. When you listen as an advocate, you get more information from the client. And that is how you process that information to give him advice.
Sure, sir.
So we were telling about the firm's policy that we do offer pro bono.
Right, sir. We were just trying. Right.
Your firm definitely has a good reputation. That is why the company is good.
Thank you so much.
This is the same client for the next 3 months. Just could you help us move the counselor number 1 and 2? You're the counselor number 1, right? Yes.
Hello, hello. Yeah.
Team code? Just tell us the team code, no? We'll change here only, no?
10.
We'll change here. Rubber.
Yes.
Hello.
Counselor on what?
Counselor 1 is you, counselor 1.
Okay.
Give them a bell.
So, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Your good name, please?
My name is Varun.
Varun. Yes, Mr. Varun, how are you today?
I'm not okay.
Yeah, definitely we understand. You approached the lawyer's office. There must be something concerning. So, firstly, I would like to tell you not to worry. You have to relax, okay? This is completely confidential and you can feel free to say everything, okay? Give us all the details, all right? How was your journey to the office?
It was fine. I was able to access it easily.
Okay, good. May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, who referred you our office? How did you get to know about the
I
office?
got to know about you from my colleagues, but I also researched about you.
Okay, great. So here my colleague will be giving you a structure of this session. All right. So please feel comfortable. If you would like to drink water and take a moment before we begin, you may.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. So being said that, Santosh.
Thank you, Arshita. Okay, before we begin, we would like to briefly explain the structure of today's session. Firstly, we will listen carefully to your concerns and then understand the facts of the situation. Then we may ask few questions to get certain clarifications. After understanding the complete picture, we will discuss the possible legal remedies available to you. I hope it is clear to you.
Can you repeat the last line? I could not hear.
After understanding the everything or a complete picture, we will give certain legal remedies which are available to you.
Okay, okay.
Now, are you clear with that?
Yes, yes, I'm clear.
Yes, one.
Okay, to begin with, could you please introduce yourself and let us know what are your concerns and how we may assist you?
Okay, I am Varun.
Yeah, okay.
I am from Bangalore, and I've been recently prosecuted by. There is a proposition of prosecution by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technologies Cybercrime Unit.
Okay.
Yes, carry on.
Under some sections of IT Act, they have prosecuted me.
Okay, could you be more specific about the sections?
It was a 43,
Okay,
66,
okay,
66C,
okay.
and 66D of IT Act.
All right. Yes, carry on.
So all I know is they claimed, they alleged that I have done some serious cyber crime, but I have not done anything like that. I can't do that.
Okay. Later,
Sorry?
go on, please.
I don't know what they expect me to. I don't know. I have not done anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they are talking about the. Can you first please explain me the sections? Because I don't understand that why they have done this prosecution against me.
So,
Could you tell us how did they approach you first regarding this?
There was a legal notice.
Okay. What did the legal notice contain?
Again, the sections and a serious crime, cyber crime.
when did you receive that notice?
It got delivered to me.
Sorry?
Sorry, can you repeat?
When did you receive
When did
the
you
notice?
receive the notice?
Okay, I received it a few days ago.
A few days ago.
Yeah,
Can you please be precise?
like 3 days ago.
3 days ago. Okay. It was issued by cybercrime, right?
Yeah, cybercrime, Ministry of Electronic and Information Technologies.
Okay. Through RPD or in person?
Sorry,
Through RPD,
what is RPD?
registered post.
Yeah,
you get?
it was delivered to me.
Okay. Do you remember what are all the contents that the legal notice had?
There were, it was about, there were sections mentioned that I told you,
Okay.
and claiming that it was a serious cyber crime. They also mentioned that a few days ago, before this letter arrived,
Mm-hmm.
I um, I accessed the government tax portal
Okay.
by using AI,
Mm-hmm.
a foreign-based AI.
By using foreign-based AI.
Yes.
Okay. May I know the reason for your actions for using AI for uh,
Government tax
huh.
portal.
I was just checking the AI if it can break the security barriers of the government portal. I was just I was just experimenting the AI. It is called Cyrus AI. It is,
Cyrus AI.
yeah, it mainly generates code.
Okay.
So may I know from which professional background you are from?
I'm a software engineer.
You are a software engineer. Have you done any courses relating to ethical hacking?
Yes, and this was also, I'll say, a ethical hacking.
Okay. Do you have any certifications from any authorized institutions?
On ethical hacking?
Yes.
No, no, no,
You don't have any certifications.
no.
And do you currently work in any government authorized institutions or any private institutions?
I work in Google.
You work in?
Google.
You work in Google. May I know the branch of the Google?
In Bangalore only.
In Bangalore. Okay. So, how many days did you take to use this Cyrus AI to break the government tax portal?
I did not break the government tax portal. I did ethical hacking. I used the AI generated codes
Mm-hmm.
to bypass the CAPTCHA and login credentials of the portal.
And why exactly did you do that?
Again, I was trying to experiment with the AI.
Okay. Did you take any permission from any of the government authorities?
This is something I do at a day to day at my job. So I did not know that I have to take permissions from the government.
It is. We have to take permission whenever we go with the government accesses.
I am a software engineer. I have no idea about it.
Okay. Was it a part of your job in the Google?
Well, there is this thing. Uh, we do ethical hacking. We do load testing in our company. I do that, and that is the method I used here. I requested or I asked the AI to generate a code which would overwhelm the login credentials, and which was give me a bypass to the portal, to the filing portal and the dashboard of the government.
So what was the objective of your actions? Like bypassing the CAPTCHA?
Again, it was just an experiment. It was an ethical hacking. I was testing to see if something so secure, the government tax portal, could be broken through AI.
Does this action was authorized by the Google?
No, no.
It was not authorized.
No.
And did the Ministry of Cybercrime branch issue a notice to the company also?
No, just to me.
Just you. Okay. So how many days did you take to develop this kind of AI?
It is something I've been working on for a long time, and it took a little time. It was not so fast as I expected, but it was efficient. I did not expect the generated code, to actually bypass the CAPTCHA and login credentials.
Why did you directly go into the government tax portal? There were many other websites also.
It
and
was,
portals also.
it was just an experiment.
It was just an experiment.
Yes, the information that downloaded automatically was, I did never touched it. I did not, I never intended to stole it or to sell it or anything like that.
So was your whole team involved in this?
No, it was I did it alone. Nobody was involved in it.
And it was developed by you alone?
Yeah, the AI code, I generated them.
So what did you do after you bypassed the tax portal?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I
You just
never
logged out.
logged out. It is, I bypassed it.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then after that?
The information is still in my computer, but that's it. I would never steal it or sell it or anything. It was nothing malicious.
Okay, did you log in through your own details or with the someone else details?
Again, I bypassed it
Okay, you bypassed
through
it
the code.
with the code, okay.
Yeah.
So the AI must use someone's login credentials, right?
No, load testing. It overwhelmed the login credentials, and it made me the rate entries were cleared, and I bypassed it through it. It made it. I used so many login credentials at once, one after the other, that it got overwhelmed, and I was logged in.
So did any of the police officer approached you or called you for any investigation?
Not yet.
Okay.
I came to you as soon as I got to know about the notice.
Okay.
Do you have the notice with you
I can give it to you.
Right now?
right now?
Not right now. I'll give it to you tomorrow.
Because giving legal advice without legal documents might hamper our case.
Sorry.
Without getting physical legal documents in our hands,
No. I will
might
give
hamper
it to you.
the
I will give it to you. I have it with me. I just don't have it right now. I was in a rush, so I forgot it.
okay, how much time period did the legal notice give you to reply for this notice?
I did not read it through. I just looked through the sections and all.
You just read the sections,
Yeah.
nothing else.
It was talking about prosecution.
Okay.
They were going to prosecute me.
Yes.
Under the sections I told you about before, the IT Act sections.
Okay, before prosecuting, there must be a FIR lodged against you or a complaint lodged against you. Then
Yes.
they're going to file a charge sheet, then it goes on. So under DPD,
I have no idea how that works.
okay.
Can you please explain it to me?
So under IT Act and under DPDP Act, they're going to prosecute you through proper statutes. So I need you to be very frank whenever we ask questions. Please try to answer very precisely. So I might ask the question again. So what was the main intent of yours to bypass the CAPTCHA?
Again, it was an experiment. I am truthfully telling you.
Okay.
It was an experiment to check the security barriers of the government portal using an AI.
Then what are all the codes you have prepared by using the AI? Did you test it on any other websites also, like private websites, like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra?
I did, but to be honest, they worked. They did not work that well first, but it was surprising for me to see that they worked on the government portal.
So okay,
I thought the conversation between me and the AI would be confidential.
conversation between you and the AI.
Yeah, it would be encrypted.
Mhm.
And how could the government know about it? Isn't it? It's my conversation. How
Okay.
could the government know about it?
Let me explain you. It's not the conversation between you and the AI. It is the code or the technique which you use to bypass the CAPTCHA or break the portal of the government tax. The government portals have a technical standards and the algorithm where it identifies any hacking abilities of any other websites or a person. So if you breach the walls of the website, the government gets the notification that someone is hacking through the portals. From that,
Okay.
they have approached you. They have tracked your IP address.
So they do not know, or they do not know that. My conversation,
Mhm.
how did they know about that?
Okay, did the legal notice convey that they have knew everything about the conversation between you and the AI?
I'm not so sure, but the legal notice didn't really say that much.
Okay.
But my conversation between the AI and me should be private. How could the government know about it? Is the government allowed to know about it?
Yes, it is allowed if you are using it for any public purpose or if it is
So
being used for any misappropriating things.
but it was ethical hacking. I do it every day, almost every day at my job. It is nothing misappropriate.
Because you need to take certain permissions from the authorities to check the portals.
Okay. I had no idea about it.
Have you tried to bypass any other government portals before?
No.
This was the first time.
Yes.
And do you have any charges on you
No.
for any other previous acts?
No.
Like a criminal, any other kind of thing?
No charges.
No charges.
Charge is first?
Criminal charges, like any other cases pending on you,
No.
like that kind of thing?
Never.
Okay, it's your first time getting this kind of issue.
Yes.
Okay, just to ensure that we have correctly understood your case, I'll be summarizing it. Okay, so there's a prosecution by Ministry of Electronics. They have sent a legal notice to you, right? They've sent a legal notice to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about prosecution.
Yeah. So, how many days before did you receive the legal notice? You said 3 days before, right? You tried to bypass the government tax portal using ethical hacking, right? And then you have been working on this AI for a few days now, right? And you have never bypassed a government portal before.
Never a government portal.
Okay. So can I ask you what kind of portals did you try to bypass?
Not any major portals, just even if I did, I never received any backlash against it.
Okay, did you convey regarding this to any other colleagues?
I mean, no.
No.
This was my private project, so
Okay, did you post regarding this that you have bypassed the government tax portal in any other social media also?
no.
No. Okay. Oh, great.
Can you please make me understand the sections that were given in that prosecution thing? The IT Act section?
So, okay, based on the facts that you have provided, the situation appears to be involving IT Act as well as DPDP Act.
What act?
DPDP Act,
Can
Data
you please-
Personal and Data Protection Act.
Data Protection
yes.
Protection Act. So, how will it protect? It will protect me.
So, if you have conveyed regarding anything about to anyone,
Yes.
so they might use this also by adding additional charges.
Oh, so this act will protect me if
Citizen.
I have had this kind of conversation, this topic conversation
Yes.
with the third person.
Yes.
A third person.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the reason I asked you whether did you convey regarding this to anyone.
No, nobody knows.
Okay. So what outcome are you expecting from this matter?
Well, I just, I need to, what will happen with this prosecution? How will it go? Also, I am a employee of Google. It's a private company. So, will this proceedings or whatever that will happen harm my work life? Will I? And what will if I, God forbid, uh, if I get into the bad end of it? What will I get imprisoned? I
There-
just want to know, and I've heard that Indian courts take a very, very long time.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't think I can. How will I be working at that time? What will happen to my reputation? I'll be known as a hacker.
No, no, you don't have to worry about anything right now. Okay? We'll take care of everything. We are here to assist you. So you just don't have to worry about all that right now. Okay?
So first we're gonna give a certain reply to the legal notice issued by the ministry. To give a reply, we need the legal notice with us. We have to properly read the legal notice. Without that, we cannot give proper legal advice and we cannot send a proper legal reply to the ministry. So can you please mail us?
Yeah, I will as soon as I go home.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be giving you our visiting card at the end of the session. You can mail us all the documents that we have requested you, okay?
Yeah. But can you, what will happen if it is proven that I'm actually,
You might get imprisoned, but don't worry. We will find a way to make you come out of this situation.
okay, thank you.
And we need certain documents from you, like your personal details, like address, your entire schedules, and as well as the code which we are using for bypassing the government portals,
And your employee ID.
and employee contract with the Google.
But my employment was not involved in this. My employer was not involved in this.
Yes,
Then
just for
still-
the records.
Just for the records.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
And if possible, please make sure to give the legal notice as soon as possible.
Yes.
And we want to know, frankly, regarding the AI. It was developed by someone else or it was used by you only,
It is a foreign-based AI.
foreign-based AI?
Yes.
And
It is called Cyrus,
Cyrus,
AI.
okay. Did the Cyrus AI has the permission to be downloaded in India? Did it get the permission from ministry?
I don't know about that, but almost all, it is a code generative AI.
Yes, it is the code generated AI. Many of the Chinese
Code
websites or apps.
Generative AI.
Generative AI.
It
okay.
generates codes.
It generates codes. Is it permissible in India to use those AI?
I have been using it. A few of my colleagues are also using it. It's used in India. I don't know about permission.
Because websites or AI can be available in many of the platforms, but they need to be authenticated by the government. If you download a hacked version of that particular AI, which the ministry does not permit, it might hamper our case.
How will it hamper our case?
Because anything banned or restricted by the government cannot be used by any of the citizens until and unless the government gives the permission.
But it was available for us to use?
It was free of cost.
No.
So how did you find that website or AI?
It's available on the internet.
Internet, okay. Which website or
But-
Play Store, Apple Store?
It's a website.
It's a website. It's not an app.
No.
Okay. So you found that app, you found that website in Chrome or any other websites, platforms?
In Chrome.
In Chrome.
In Chrome.
Okay.
Okay, we have understood your case. We'll discuss for a few minutes and get back to you about this. All right?
Okay.
It's okay. Yes. Thank you. So, Harshita, I think so. This case is very much complicated.
Yeah.
She could have tried some other websites also.
Yeah.
She did it.
And since this was a government tax portal,
Yes.
it gets even more complicated.
And I am not sure that it was legally authenticated by ministry to use such kind of AI.
Exactly, exactly.
And if those AI platforms are restricted, I think it might hamper our case very much. And we need to analyze the legal notice carefully.
Yeah.
And as per certain recent Supreme Court rulings and judgments, we have been noted that we cannot give legal advice without reading proper documents.
Yes. And since she's working in such a huge company, you have to maintain her reputation as well.
And she doesn't have a certification in ethical hacking also.
Yeah.